Good morning, Bentao.
Yeah, hey, hello, Aaron. Thank you for organizing this. Good morning.
Good morning.
We are still waiting for people to come in. We're gonna give it a few more minutes and then we will start.
Okay.
Susan and Aaron, just let you know, I've put this on YouTube live streaming and then NECINA's channel.
Thanks for this, Len. I did not know that. This is a good surprise. No.
Yeah, I just want to give it a try.
Yeah, if we had known that this will put on the live YouTube channel, then we will include this into our announcement to the parents, so everybody can log on the YouTube to watch it. That would be really fun.
Yeah.
But anyway, I assume every judge had no problem, right?
Oh, no problem. Yeah.
No problem.
All right, thank you.
I think we can also replay it in the future if it's on YouTube.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, because
Yes,
the
that's
live.
correct.
Yeah.
No. Good morning, Hong Kai.
Morning. So are you hearing me okay?
Yep. Sounds good.
Cool.
Okay, I think. We're still waiting on John Wang, one of the judges. Good morning, John. I think we.
Good morning.
Welcome.
Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you clear.
Very good.
Okay, I think we almost have everyone. We're gonna start this. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Yes 15. Yes 15 final competition. Today is very special. After 6 months of long program training, our students will put together what they learned during this program, and we are excited to see the improvement, the skill they got. Today we also have our parents joining us. Welcome. Before we start, let me introduce our distinguished judge of the final competition. Today we have John Wang, an automotive product design expert and entrepreneur.
Aaron, we lost you. Is Aaron still there?
He's talking on the YouTube. I don't see him on Zoom.
If you click somewhere, then so become only on YouTube, but not on our.
That's interesting. Yeah.
I guess we can quickly introduce ourselves. I guess I'm Tony.
Yeah, let's...
I work for Segway. We make scooters. And you guys.
And my name is Ben Tao, and I've been a volunteer for NECINA for many years. So right now I work for Momentum Venture and the partners. Great to be here.
Thank you, Ben.
And I'm Barb Feiner, a serial entrepreneur also. Done 7 startups, mostly in the tech space, and 1 nonprofit. And I also teach entrepreneurship at college.
Thank you, Bob, to be our panel of judge. And let's go to the next one.
Sorry, guys, I just lost my internet.
Aaron, don't worry. And the judges, they are introduce themselves to the students and the parents now.
Okay.
Let's move on to the next one. John Wan, can you please introduce yourself?
Oh, sure. The name is John Wang. I'm an entrepreneur. I started up a few technology startups, and then later I transitioned back to automotive. Still work for a startup company, and then I serve as the NECINA 20th president, and I'm sitting on the NECINA board up till today. Good to be here today.
Thank you. Be part of the team, and also you continue to support. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Who's next in the judge panel?
Yeah, Hong Kai here. I'm a general partner in Tai Hill Venture. So we are an early stage VC fund based in Boston, focusing on deep tech investment. So we've made around 60 investments in the past 3 years. Great to be here.
Thank you. All right, you can take over from here now. The judge already done their introduction, all of them.
Okay, thank you. So before we start the pitch, let me talk about the procedure. Each group will have about 10 minutes to do the pitch, and then it's followed by 5 minutes of Q&A. After 4 groups are done with the presentation, judge will have 20 minutes to discuss on the winner. So let's get started. Team 1, let me know if you guys are ready, and then I'm gonna stop sharing so that you guys can take over. Team 1.
One second, we're just trying to set things up.
Okay.
We should be able to get that done. 1 second, how do I share this thing? Okay.
Aiden, do you want to share any slides?
Yeah, I'm trying to do that right now. It's we're having.
Okay.
Or maybe your teammate can help.
Also have to move locations. My Wi-Fi.
Aiden, I got it.
Okay. Actually, wait, I think yeah. Do you want to just share your screen then? Yeah, it should be great. Just press present then. Okay. Hello everyone. My name is okay, now we can start. Hello, we are Driver Jolt, and we're for everyday long distance drivers at risk of accidents due to drowsy driving. Oh, that wasn't meant to be there. So this is our team. I'm Aiden Carrier, and I'm junior at Bedford High School, and I'm a programmer and robotics major. I'm part of the school robotics team, and I won second place in Most Innovative Business Idea Award for NECINA Yes 14.0 last year. And
I'm Isabella Chin. I'm part of marketing and I'm a freshman at Sharon High School, and I'm president of the Massachusetts chapter of a nonprofit called Auxilia Nurturing.
I'm the CFO. I'm a junior at Sharon High School. I have a background in the physical sciences, and I'm a member of the National Honor Society.
I'm Jonathan Land. I'm a freshman at Thayer Academy, and I'm a member of the robotics, coding, and debate clubs. And yeah, that's my contact right there.
My name is Frank. I'm a CTO and co-founder of the company, and I'm also have interest in coding stuff.
Okay, you can go on to the next slide then now as well. Okay, the problem. Long distance and truckers and movers often get into accidents because of drowsy driving caused by spending too much time on the wheel without rest, resulting in a lack of attentiveness due to sleep apnea. Everyday amateur drivers during nighttime hours are at high risk of fatal accidents such as rear-end crashes due to drowsy driverness or microsleep caused by natural circadian rhythms. Teenage and student drivers often do not get enough sleep the night before driving, causing them to be less alert while driving due to drowsiness. And current drowsiness detection systems in smart cars are extremely large, expensive, and obtrusive, and thus are not a viable option for opposing this drowsy driving ordeal. The loud alarms can be used to startle drivers into crashing and therefore are more harmful than good. Our solution is Driver Jolt. Driver Jolt uses revolutionary new AI and advanced IoT technology, which means Internet of Things, to monitor a driver's drowsiness level based off of information gained from adaptive machine learning algorithms to interpret vitals from sensors, accurately detecting when a driver starts becoming drowsy and less attentive to their surroundings. When the drowsiness level monitored reaches a personalized threshold calibrated for each user, our product will softly alert the driver via vibrations and other obtrusive feedback using proportional integral differential or PID controllers, jolting them awake before the level reaches unsafe levels. And this is Eddie's slide, by the way.
Excellent. Okay, so from market size, sorry about that. All right, so 1/3, which is about 20% of commercial truck drivers, which is one of the audiences we're targeting, have mild to severe sleep apnea, which makes them at a higher risk of dozing off at the wheel. In addition, we have contacted the truckers union who expressed interest in the product. Furthermore, driving after going more than 20 hours without sleep, which is what a lot of long distance drivers and truckers do, is equivalent to driving with a blood alcohol concentration of 0.08%, which is the legal limit of the United States. You're also 3 times more likely to be in a crash when you're fatigued. And most crashes occur at night from 6 to 9 p.m. Now, drowsy driving affects everyone, but especially those under the age 25, including teenagers, who don't get enough sleep, and this makes up an estimated 50% or more of drowsy driving crashes. Drivers between the ages of 15 to 20 accounted for 8% of all drivers in 2018. And additionally, young drivers accounted for 5.3% of total drivers in the United States. So there's a high risk for that. Some more information about the market size and market opportunity. There are over 230 million drivers in the US projected for 2020. 39 million of them are under 25. There's 2 million truckers, and there's 6 million accidents per year, and up to 9.5% can be attributed to drowsy driving. But it's very difficult to confirm whether or not an accident was due to drowsy driving. So research suggests that the prevalence of drowsy driving fatalities is more than 350% greater than actually reported. Yeah, this rather large market opportunity due to the sheer number of drivers that our product is targets and may need the product.
So we surveyed 61 people, and the data that we found was that 54.8% of them said that they have dozed off or fallen asleep at the wheel, and about 25% of them felt nerve-wracked after they kind of jolted themselves awake, and 71% of people have been in a crash or know someone who has, and 41.9% of them have been emotionally, physically, or financially impacted. And 67.7% of parents that we surveyed would get their teen kids this device or app. And 60% of the people we interviewed would be interested in our product.
And this is just a testimonial that someone said to us.
So our marketing plan is to market our product through ads and on social media. So first, we would go through Facebook. So they have banner ads that have the highest average engagement rate, and they target specific demographics that we're also targeting. And lots of concerned parents and parents in general are on Facebook a lot. And there are 2.8 billion monthly active users. And 88% of those people are 18 to 29 years old, and 72.8% of them are 18 to 44 years old, which is our target. And the average Facebook CPM is about $5.31, and CPC is 43 cents. And the click-through rate on Facebook is 3.9%. On Google, they also target the demographics we do as well. The average CPC is $1.47 and $1.65 a month to use it. And YouTube ads increase search engine optimization. We'll also go through physical brochures, advertising cards and posters, and other social media platforms like Twitter and Instagram, which will target the teen generation, younger adults, and as well as TikTok, which about 62% of people that use them are 10 to 29 years old.
Okay, so our products. We have two main product lines. The first one is an app for the Apple Watch. This is a less expensive version, and this is an FDA-approved medical-grade device. It has fundamental yet advanced features, including a basic heart rate sensor and two main super advanced sensors. One that's called plethysmography sensor, also known as a PPG, and this uses green LEDs to measure the pulse. It's similar to how if you were to shine your light through your finger, you'll notice that there's red, the red light. So you can, can you go back? You can actually figure out how your pulse from that. Can you go back to the other stuff? Back more. Okay, there. And then the other one is electrocardiogram, which maps the heart rate. And this is a super advanced, and these are two fundamentally advanced sensors that have revolutionized this industry. In fact, according to one source, the wearable devices market is estimated to be at $32 billion in worth in like 2035. And for the Apple Watch, it'll be marketed towards the lesser and less experienced generation, like amateurs and teens. And our second product is our more rigorous product is the physical watch product. This is the Driver Jolt watch. This is the main product line containing everything that we featured above with the Apple Watch, but it's marketed towards more serious drivers. This means truckers, long distance drivers, Uber drivers, movers, anybody who's going on a road trip. It's more advanced and customizable. It has multiple sensors, the heart rate sensors, electrocardiogram, and PPG sensors working together to determine the drowsiness level with more advanced sensors such as breathing, oxygen measurement, and temperature sensors, all which show signs of or affect driver drowsiness. Data is processed in the phone app, which we'll talk about in a bit, via IoT technology. The Bluetooth, it uses Bluetooth, cellular, and Wi-Fi, and feedback is sent back to the watch to alert the driver effectively. But we will go over all of this in the future slide. Can you move on to the next one? Okay, so how Driver Jolt works. For both our products, this is how it works. First, sensors in the watch and other components collect data about the driver's vitals, such as heart rate, breathing, oxygen, concentration, and other factors, all of which are correlated to a driver's drowsiness level. The sensory data is sent using IoT technology alongside other information such as time, environmental conditions, which are interpreted by an AI using a machine learning algorithm to determine their level of drowsiness. IoT stands for Internet of Things, and it's a new revolutionary tech that's in the market nowadays where it allows devices to communicate each other through Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and cellular. Based upon a threshold determined by calibration settings and formed by information gathered by the AI/machine learning algorithm, the watch then uses a proportional integral PID controller to send unobtrusive feedback to the user to alert them of their drowsiness level. And here's a little quick graphic of what a PID controller does. It takes the proportional gain, the integral gain, and the differential gain to all as in a feedback loop. And the driver is alerted by the feedback generated by the watch, the level of which is determined by the PID controller based off of the error between the threshold value and the actual value, on which case the watch will collect more data from the sensors and change the level of feedback proportionally until they reach safe attentive levels. If the driver becomes drowsy too frequently, it will alert them to take a rest or switch drivers. And then it will repeat, meaning that data will be sent back into the AI, and then it will improve the system. And for improving it to make it more personalized and more calibrated for each user. Okay, next one. Software. We're using various software applications. Our physical product, the Driver Jolt watch, uses the Particle Web ID platform, which is designed for the Particle Internet of Things microcontroller. We're coding the device in a modified version of C++. We will send the data in the form of packages called JSON files from the watch to the phone. This is done by sending event data via webhooks over the internet and through Bluetooth. We plan on expanding by incorporating Microsoft Azure IoT Hub to further integrate our app and product. For our app, we are using React Native, a framework based on React.js to code our app. It allows us to code for all iOS, Android, and other platforms at the same time. We are currently coding the demo, however, in Visual Studios using C++ to demonstrate the features and functionality of the app, but in a like simpler way, since it's a lot more complicated to do it with React.js. Next slide. Our machine learning algorithm. So our machine learning uses a concept known as artificial neural networks, aka ANNs, and to tweak the the algorithm to get the best results based off of past data and other information. And it interprets data from all sensors to accurately determine the drowsiness level. And it uses that interpreted data to create a threshold determining what driver drowsiness level is the boundary between what is safe and unsafe in terms of alertness. This data is used to calibrate the watch to each person personally. And it's also it's going to be sent to like the other, like our database as a whole, so we can generate more accurate results for new drivers. And here's a link to, we actually made a physical demo product. It is not, it's, as I'll explain, it's, you have to, I guess you have to click the link. Or yeah. It is not designed to be aesthetically what it's supposed to look like, but it's rather designed to be just show us the hardware as it is built on a prototyping platform.
Do you want to be careful of the timing?
Actually, we can show this at the end. So let's actually go exit. Okay, next slide.
Our competition. So our first main competitor would be like the Bosch driver drowsiness detection. And so what they do, well, they're an in-car system that basically detects driver drowsiness and tries to prevent crashes. And so they have cameras in the steering wheel to monitor driver visual state, and they have sensors in the steering wheel to monitor the steering wheel's motions. So if you're sleeping, for example, if you're like dozing off at the wheel, for example, you're more likely to both not steer for a while, and then when you're awake, you would steer very abruptly. And so when it detects that you're drowsy, it will display a coffee cup, which will notice the drowsiness. And so we are looking to partner with Bosch because rather than competing, because the combined system would ensure the best data possible for our watch or app while driving. And it will also provide the Jolt technology for Bosch's system to actually be effective. Because right now they're only displaying a coffee cup while not actually doing anything to wake drivers up if anything is wrong. And so if partnership doesn't work out, we are confident that we can compete with Bosch because of cheaper prices, our Jolt factor, which is basically what measures how effective the actual jolting of the product is. So for example, ours is a light buzz, while Bosch's Jolt factor would technically be their coffee cup. And portability is our last competitive advantage because it's a watch, right? Or an app, which we could bring from car to car, no matter what systems the car has or like what limits technology has for the car. For example, for those driving older cars, they don't have those in-car systems that can actually monitor the drivers. So if they wore our watch, it would still prevent driver drowsiness or crashes on the highways. Next slide, please. Our second competitor is Pavlov's watch. It was designed to disassociate bad habits with a 450 volt shock. And they were looking to potentially partner with car alert systems to wake drivers up. And so just in general, like a 450 volt shock, that's a lot. And like that's like basically the mentality is similar to like an alarm, right? Every morning people like fear their alarm. That's like kind of the feeling. And that's just not what Driver Jolt wants to do with their customers. So our Jolt factor, like we specifically chose buzzing because anything more than that would result in the driver jerking and into a crash. And so buzzing is just like a happy medium between not doing enough and doing too much to wake drivers up. Another thing about our competitive advantage is that we have our own sensors. And so, like I said earlier, there's a lot of portability with Driver Jolt and cheaper prices. So compared to Pavlov's $150 watch, ours is around $99 and our app is around $2. Next slide, please. For Plessey Semiconductors, they're our last competitor. And so they developed this ECG seat. Earlier, Aiden said it stands for electrocardiogram. And yeah, so these sensors would monitor the heart rate in your car seat. And they have installation kits available for car companies. And so if we take a look at the competitor matrix, they have like around an average portability just because of these installation kits. But otherwise, it's definitely not as portable as the Driver Jolt watch. And so they didn't really have a any jolt factor, anything that would actually wake the drivers up. But we gave them like around the middle for safety and effectiveness because they just have a pretty complex system. But that complex system is what gives us a competitive advantage because our product is simpler and easier to use, and it's more fit for the general public. Next slide, please. This is just a brand assessment. So out of all the brands, like Driver Jolt in pink is like very good with a jolt factor. It has the best price out of all three of our competitors. It's around the average for safety right now, just because like our product is still being tested. We're not really sure how like all these algorithms will actually do. And obviously right now, durability and appearance aren't our strong suit because right now we still have our prototype and we're not in the finishing stages yet. Next slide.
That's Freddie.
So this is how we make money with our product. Our main source of income is through the physical product and the app for the iPhone. The iOS app for the Apple Watch and other mobile devices will cost roughly $2, while the physical watch will cost about $100, and it will contain the iPhone app along with the purchase. We'll also have banner ads on the iPhone app, as well as the website, where we will include the download page. The banner is $3 eCPM, and the interstitial is $10 to $20 eCPM, and it plays when the app is opened. And we also have a monthly subscription service to get faster, more reliable updates and extra features like better AI and personalized calibration settings. And this will be roughly $1 a month.
Value proposition. Long distance drivers or amateur drivers suffering from sleep deprivation are highly susceptible to being in a state of driver drowsiness, especially when conditions are detrimental to one's alertness, such as during nighttime conditions. And unlike our competitors who are either unsafe or ineffective or large, clunky, and expensive, Driver Jolt offers a less expensive mobile solution to driver drowsiness that ensures your safety while driving in the form of a stylish watch, while maintaining the same safety, of course. Currently, this is the optimal time to get into the driver drowsiness market, as this is the point where driver drowsiness systems are advanced enough to succeed due to new developments such as ECG and that autocorrected photoplethysmography used in technology such as the FDA-approved medical grade device, the Apple Watch. Additionally, this field is new enough and on the cutting edge of science such that not many companies have really got into implementing such technology, such as IoT as well. And additionally, COVID restrictions are lifting and drivers are not used to driving as much anymore. So in doing so, they need to relearn how to do so, and it's the perfect opportunity to include our market. Our product is in high need because currently there are few options besides getting more sleep reliably to prevent drowsy driving due to lack of advanced technology in past years, which is no longer the case. There's a huge market as customers will want and need to get our product to ensure their safety. And with the huge amount of drivers in the US and the percentage of car accidents, there's a huge market size. Next slide, please. Our Chief Financial Officer will now explain this. You're muted.
Yeah, sorry about that. So we plotted out a rough consumer growth graph using the Desmos graphing software, and the equation is currently not visible for some reason.
Yeah, I took that out.
All right, so this is modeled off of population growth. And if we start with initial 100 users, roughly projected in about 10 years, based on the average growth of population, we will have a minimum of 2,000 users, but this is very rough. And based on how well our product will be advertised or marketed, this could potentially be a lot higher.
Yeah. Also, I do want to mention that by population, the average rate of population, we're talking about that like growth of the driver market rather than people in general. Okay, next slide.
Timon, please have control on the timing because we all
Okay.
have.
So this is our
everything.
net revenue graph, which looks similar because, and then next slide. So then time to ensure driver safety is now because of all of what we've talked about. We estimate an IRR about 51% based off of our cash flow, like input and output. Okay, so the timeline. Driver in Q1, Driver Jolt will develop a prototype physical watch product, which we have actually done. We have developed a product for the Apple Watch that has similar features, and then app will be developed to connect to our two technologies. Then we will launch our beta, which will put at least 500 physical watches out into the market, and we will use the beta service in order to get data and feedback to help train our neural networks. We will then create an updated stylized version, and then in the Q1 year 3, we will do more research and design to improve our watch and update the software. Operating costs. We use the Particle IoT cloud service, and our first 100 devices are free and 10K data operations, but for each additional block of 100 devices, it costs $599 for cellular and $900 for Wi-Fi. Our website is an app, or 100 initial cost to put item into the App Store and $12 per year hosting on Google Domains. We estimated a $3,000 to $5,000 per year spent on marketing and a legal of about $740 due to business registry and patents, which will be a main part of our R&D. Our component cost is $88 to $90 per physical device product, but this should improve through bulk orders because this was just gathered from data we got from the prototype. The ask. We're asking for $80,000 for a 15% stake. R&D, we're asking for $35,000, 10K for partnerships. We're asking for 10K because we need to partner with automobile companies. A large amount of our money will be needed for the IoT cloud hosting, which is about 5,000. And 10,000 for marketing and ads, of course, which we plan on further expanding with investment. And for one of our second largest is actually legal, insurance, and licensing, because we need to get FDA approval for our product, patents, and deal with potential lawsuits. And here is or contact us, and we're just going to quickly show you our website. It's pretty complete. So here's our website. Like here's some, and then you can here's like information about like how our product works and the different features and etc. And if you go up, we'll just go through each page, just the main about page. So here's a description of our company, and then we conclude the problem and solution if you go down. How much more time do we have?
We don't have time.
You guys, we only have 10 minutes.
Okay, yeah, I was just I'm trying to like get, okay, we don't need to watch this. Okay, and then we have our solution, and you feel free to just like look at this on your own time. We have a description of our products, and then of course a contact us page as well. And there, if I do want to actually show like we had a video with our demo. So could you pull that up and just skip to halfway through? Because I did like we can skip through the explaining.
Timon, I don't think we have time for the video because you
Yeah, I'll just like show like just like a snapshot of it, like just because I show like you have a tab open. Just skip to like halfway through or 3/4. Further. Yeah, so that's the watch face. And it's, as you see, it's actually taking the heart rate data that we're using. And actually, yeah. Okay, we'll just send the links then. Yeah. So I think in all, so that wraps up our everything. Yes.
Okay, thank you, Timon,
for this video information and for the video information, for the video and the website, we can let the audience take a watch, watch it during the breakout time. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I just didn't know how you guys wanted to like structure it.
Thank you.
Over the time.
Thank you, Timon. Now it's a Q&A section. Let's see what questions judges have. Do any of the judges want to go first?
Yeah, I can get started. First of all, I was truly impressed by the amount of work your team has put into it, and I've been through a lot of math challenge, judging session as well. Of course, it's a very different kind of comparison, but you guys did a ton of work. Yeah. The question here, I recognize that you guys are targeting quite a number of different market choices, right? You're talking about professional truckers, talking about Uber drivers versus consumers, regular Joes, you and me. And but those markets have a very different characteristics, which may impact the way you define the product, impact the way you kind of go to reach them. Have you thought about have a little bit more focused approach? Have you done some
So we did originally think about that, but based off of calculations and projections that we've come up with, we've determined that it's actually more profitable if we market to both groups, because we need both products, because both products will be working together and to getting various data. And if we have one or the other, like especially like we wouldn't be able to market as much as we would be able to with both, and we'd get big money from the truckers in small amounts, than a smaller revenue to support that with the younger audience.
Well, as a smaller startup, you're kind of always struggling, to get enough resources or to get things going. And have you at least thought about sequencing your effort?
Yes, that's actually, so that's why we're actually trying. So we're going to be putting the app for the Apple Watch out first. And that way we can actually use that to collect data, so that when we put out our physical product, it will be like, it's not that we're going to be launching them both at the same time. The physical product is more far in the future. We are like, for the Apple Watch product, that one, because we already have the sensors that we can do to integrate it, we decide that it would be much easier for us to integrate their platform, because they're an FDA approved medical grade device and they have those 2 advanced sensors. And then later on, we will sequence it so that when we make based off of how that Apple Watch product does and data we've collected from that, trained neural networks and etc., we can now focus on a much higher end product that's much more expensive. And that would be like basically how like a hard launch versus a soft launch, for example. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it helps. Thank you.
Hey, I have a question. Hey, Aaron. It's for organizer or Susan. We have 4 teams, right? 4 teams and 2 hours. So how much time should we budget for each team for presentation and then a Q&A?
Originally, it's budgeted for 10 minutes, 5 minutes Q&A, but team one went way over the time.
Yeah, then we know that after team 1, we should try to control the pace. All right, so let me try to
Sorry
jump
about
in
that.
with my common questions. Overall, piggyback to Ben's comment, it's a very practical, interesting topic, and for your level-wise, the technology sophistication-wise is very impressive. On top of all the goods, I want to provide a few useful information. First of all, I think the presentation can be much more concise, and then you should target what the audience want to know, their background, right? And then you are very emphasized on the technical details, which is good. But then majority of your presentation in future, you are looking to present it to the investor. What they care about is what's market needs, the pain point, what kind of value you provide to the customer. So always think about what kind of problem you try to solve. That's the value. And what kind of value we can prevent it to your customer. When you solve those problems, provide those value, money will come. And then stop focusing on technology details. I'm a technologist. It take me many years to try to push technology to the second, even third place. So I always put the team at number 1, marketing, finance. Those will be number 1, number 2. That's one. And also, I also notice competition-wise, local Boston-wise, there are already a few competitors for you in a similar space. And then the similar service or signal can be generated maybe in a much cheaper way, because nowadays GPS and also autonomous cars, those data are very can be directly or indirectly to generate a similar signal. So that's for your information to search for competitor landscape. And also, if you decide to pursue a career in this direction, local companies can provide a career path for you. So this is for you to consider. And lastly, 2 more points. One is I think you are pursuing a B2C market. B2C is very hard to pursue, especially for startups. B2B wise, it's much easier, especially for trucking company. The boss, they have money, they can make a decision much quicker than you rely on hundreds of thousands of consumers to make a decision. You only need to talk to one boss and to make a quick decision. So that's one suggestion. Last one, I noticed you use IRR to measure your finance. IRR probably is not the right measure for your company. It's for internal project evaluation. When you present it to a company, you probably were looking for the future revenue multiples. That's how much money they can bring to the investor or how much value you can create for the user. IRR is for project evaluation. That's my comment. But overall, it's a very good presentation. Thank you.
So I do got to say that for the business to business, we are that was our plan for truckers.
Yeah, that's good.
So I'm going to go next because we are running out of time and all of that. So first of all, quite an amazing job. I've also heard pitches from probably close to 1,000 pitch givers by now. So you guys have done a wonderful job, and nothing we say should take away from that. You're far in advance of what people that have much more experience than you have done. My second point might be something from a dynamics perspective, and I really hope that this helps you. But when you're getting feedback on pitches, my suggestion would be to not respond to the feedback we're giving you. Someone might have given you different suggestions for that, but the best thing to do is take in what we're saying and just listen really attentively. It will show a willingness to consider advice that's being given, which is a really important aspect of any startup, that the team works well together. I think that's one of the things that that Ben might have said when he was giving feedback, showing that the team works well together and can be coached and mentored and will be able to work with outsiders really well too. And the team is really always an important element in any company. So just guidance going forward, and I've said this to other people as well, just when someone gives you feedback, just say thank you. And don't try to defend it or anything or add to it. No, You're very welcome. I think it's just very helpful. And it would save us in this particular case time, because quite truthfully, you probably took 3 times the amount of time that was supposed to be given, which is our fault because we should be managing this. So
Yeah.
this is fine. The things about market focus and not being as verbose and everything on the slides, all of that is very true. I think, let me just add something to that to try to drive it home in another way. The B2B versus B2C is very, very true. It was my first comments as well. The cost of doing marketing is a lot. Yes. Regardless of which market you go after, B2B or B2C. For instance, if you think about truckers, where are they going to learn about a product like this? I will tell you that it's probably not Facebook ads. It probably is through some trucker magazine or trucker, you were talking about the associations and things like that. So where are they going to go to learn about this? And that's a very different strategy than you might, get to a consumer with. And those things cost a lot of money. One of the things that didn't get brought up that I think was really brilliant, and I'll just give you some hints on that. When you were talking about things like partnerships with, I forget which one it was, Bosch, that's a really great strategy. And so one of the things a company like Bosch might be interested in is having some successes first. Usually when you start structuring partnerships with companies that are successful, they want to see that you've had success in the market. So if you could even get your toes in with some even local trucker association, or go talk to a UPS, companies like UPS and FedEx and XPO and all of those companies have very big innovation groups within their company. They may be willing to work with you on some sort of a trial basis with some of their truckers and get some of these, in place. And then you'll be in a good position to go after the partnership for distribution, which I think would really, really be helpful to you. My last point is don't ignore competition. I know Pavlok also, be very easy for Pavlok to turn down their shock factor, because I really don't like the shock factor either. And I can only imagine big jolt awake in a car and going off the side of the road, right? But they could probably tweak their own technology. What they don't have, however, are a lot of the other sensor capabilities that you have. Part of your thing, I think, is understanding when to sense that somebody is actually getting sleepy. And it's a combination of all sorts of aspects, and probably has to be tuned to a person, right? And I think you mentioned that in passing. And don't forget that point, because I think that is part of your differentiator. And I'll stop there because I know we have another judge who probably wants to get into, but really good job.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, I agree completely. Also, sorry again for going over time. We just didn't realize how much time we were allowed, and so that's why we asked halfway through and then sped it up a bit.
I have a very quick question. Actually, 3 questions, but you can answer them together. So the first question is, how much time on average you have spent prior to the competition? The second question is, after the competition, what do you plan to do in terms of effort beyond
so
that?
Effort.
The third question you can answer, you don't have to answer, is that will you be willing not to go to college to do this?
Okay, so for the first question, we spent a lot of time, especially as I actually had to make that physical demo product that did all of this stuff, try to get machine learning to work, which just in saying, when you search up for a simple neural network, you don't get anything that's simple. And a ton of market research and finances, and just building the app, building the demo, is really hard. And then for how much time and effort, we're planning on reinvesting everything that we have back into this business. And as for the college part, I'd rather work, yes, that might help, but going to college and going into robotics, I'm planning on going into a field of robotics. Part of the reason why I was able to do this is because I was able to use my school robotics resources alongside my own resources, which cost tons of money to develop this. And if I go to a university like MIT, they can or not necessarily MIT, but some technical university, they're much able to help us with develop our product. And also that, yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, I will be really quick, like since given the time issue, I think all other judges have like given very great feedback there, so I won't repeat that. So it's just one small point about like when you're doing like the financial plannings and forecast, like projecting your user growth, like your revenue growth. Yeah, probably it should not be like as simple as like putting some random numbers into a function. So probably for like from our perspective, we care more about like what kind of assumption you're taking. Like for example, like how many users you're anticipating to get, like in a what way, like and then or what's their conversion rate, or what's their churn rate, or what's their like or what kind of strategy you want to use, so that to make sure like you go to the next level. And then maybe at the very beginnings, we don't even care that much about like how much revenue you get in the first year, or maybe like how much users you can get like in a like the user base, how to grow your user base, something like that. So it is like I would say for very early stage startups, like doing a financial projection, the whole purpose probably is not the exact number itself. It's more like to tell the investors how do you actually think through this process, to let us know that you actually it's a reasonable thinking, and then we see it's like probably it's practical to do it along that way. The actual number itself, it's actually not so important because it will change eventually. Yeah.
Oh, so you're saying that we shouldn't have like spent like, because we had like a balance, like tried to form like a data sheet / balance.
Thank you for your feedback. Thank you.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Thank you, Team 1, and thanks, judges. Before Team 2 go, let me repeat the timing again. Every team has about 10 minutes, and the timing will be taken to account when the judge are evaluating the performance. So keep in mind, please control the timing for the rest of the team. Now, Team 2, it's your stage.
Team number 2, are you guys ready?
Yes.
Cool.
Before we start, we'd just like to say that our CFO, Thomas Du, unfortunately, he couldn't make it today, but he has recorded his audio for his slides, so that shouldn't be too big of an issue. But we apologize for this inconvenience.
No problem.
Biomass, protecting both humans and the environment from disease.
We are the 5 co-founders of Sustainable Alt, a new company whose aim is to create eco-friendly alternatives to common products. Our debut product is Biomask. We are all very environmentally conscious of the products that we use, and we hope that this launched product will be able to make a difference and protect the environment from the devastating effects of masks discarded in landfills and oceans. Now, we will introduce ourselves.
Hello, my name is Hannah Lee, and I'm the Chief Marketing Officer of Sustainable Alt. Every couple of months, I pick up trash and recyclable waste from my local lake.
Hi, my name is Thomas Du, and I'm the Chief Financial Officer of Sustainable Alt. At my current school, I'm part of my environmental club.
Hello, my name is Patrick Chen, and I'm the Chief Executive Officer of Sustainable Alt. And recently, I've helped develop the climate website at my school.
Hi, my name's Jahal Zan, and I'm the Chief Operating Officer of the company, and I usually use reusable bags when shopping.
Hi, my name is William Du, and I'm the CTO of Sustainable Alt. I run the environmental club at my school. So first, I'm going to talk a bit about the problem. So because of the COVID-19 pandemic, the production and usage of masks has increased exponentially from 20 million to up to 450 million masks each day. Regular 3-layer masks take over 400 years to degrade in nature and causes an overflow in landfills and oceans, making these masks extremely unsustainable. As a result, the damage will greatly impact the environment and will become even more significant as time progresses.
For the solution to this problem, we need an alternative product that can reduce the environmental impact of masks and be just as effective as common masks. And when I say effective, I mean that it needs to have efficient bacteria filtration and particle filtration, and be able to appeal to the general public and hopefully gain enough support to replace surgical masks eventually.
With that in mind, we propose our new product, Biomask, a biodegradable mask that reduces the devastating environmental impact of masks and serve as a better, cleaner alternative to common surgical masks. Our hemp fiber masks will have 3 layers with specific functions. The outer layer is intended to repel water and body fluids. This will be made out of 100% hemp fiber. The middle layer is the critical highlight and is designed as the filter to stop germs from entering or exiting the mask. This will be 50% hemp, 50% cotton. And the inner layer is intended to absorb water, sweat, and spit. This is also 50-50. Hemp and cotton. Our masks will be very breathable and also be able to last a long time.
All right, so you may be asking yourselves, how is hemp fiber just as effective as the material of surgical masks? Well, first of all, hemp can absorb sweat. If you've ever tried a heavy exercise in surgical or cotton mask, you know that sweat can sometimes get on the mask and can make it harder to breathe. In fact, the CDC recommends to throw out surgical masks that have been, quote, become moist, damaged, visibly soiled, or difficult to breathe through. Instead of these other materials, hemp fibers are like a leaf. They can absorb water, but this is normal and will not damage the mask. And this also makes it reusable. Hemp is also a very strong material. It is used in ropes, even currently, and was especially common in the era of sailing ships when they used hemp ropes. And if you've ever had a mask tear, you won't have to worry about that if you're using a mask made of hemp fiber. In addition, hemp fiber is also UV resistant. To the average person, this is important because we want protection from too much sunlight. Hemp fiber has a UPF 50+ rating, which is the highest possible rating for protection from UV light. This blocks 99.9% of UV rays. This is something no other mask on the market can boast. And in addition to the advantages everyday people will have, UV light is also more common now in hospitals to sanitize rooms. This mask would offer even more protection to the hospital workers exposed to these UV lights.
Here are some important facts that you need to keep in mind before we go to explain our market opportunity analysis. There are 56 million students in the US who physically go to school, 87.2 million adults who have to travel to their workplace, and approximately 94 million masks are thrown away each week. Keep in mind that these numbers will be growing as more places open up and people start going out again.
So Biomask enters the market at the perfect time, as so many people in the US and also countries around the world are fighting to stop the spread of COVID-19, with surgical masks being mass-produced and bought, as well as our new generation is creating a new movement of slowing climate change and also supporting sustainable products. This is the perfect time to introduce a new product that ties all of these issues together. So our target customers are adult workers and students with around a middle-class average income of $62,000 or above. Our marketing strengths are characteristics that make our organization attractive to our target audience. Biomask is an innovative product, and it's also the perfect moment to take advantage of the current opportunities as previously stated, also taking note of the statistics that you saw in the previous slide. However, there are some potentially damaging factors that are still under our control. For example, if the pricing ends up feeling too expensive to the general public, we could always adjust the price as needed, taking into account the preferences of our customers. There are also some external factors that could make it harder for us to reach our marketing objectives, which are out of our control but still manageable. For example, there is a possibility that our reusable masks will not be popular enough. However, we predict that, and you will also see this in our upcoming slides, that we will be able to achieve massive success in biomask in the future.
Here is some comparison of different types of masks. We can see the pros and cons of them. N95 masks are relatively expensive and have an average reutilization rate, although they're protective, but they're also very uncomfortable for people who wear them for a long time. Surgical masks are cheaper, but they're undegradable. Cotton masks are the most common masks, it's very affordable, and they're comfortable to wear, but they don't provide enough protection for us. Some people buy athletic masks. They're very expensive and cannot be degraded. They can be washed and used many times, so it's not as harmful as other masks. People overlook the issues that these used masks are highly harmful to the environment. Biomasks solve this problem by improving all aspects of mask, offering high protection and can be used multiple times. Most importantly, it can be degraded after being discarded. You can clearly see that biomasks offer the most benefits out of all these types of masks.
We project that our company will grow relatively slowly at first, and as most companies do, start to see a spike in popularity as time progresses. People may be wary of these new masks, but as we previously said, they are easily comparable to normal ones in terms of use and effectiveness. Hemp fiber costs $12.54 per square foot, so only $4.7 is required to produce one reusable mask. An average reusable mask costs about $7, so in order to gain popularity quicker, we could set our starting price at $6.5 per mask. In our factory, we will invest in automated machines that can do most of the work for us. The factory itself can be rented for $45,000 for a whole year. If one mask can be produced in 30 seconds, and our goal is to sell 10,000 masks in the first year, this can be accomplished in only 56 hours of human labor. Since we invest in automation, the humans don't actually have to do much work. All they have to do is attach the straps to the hemp fiber. Based on that low number, our team can probably take care of the production by ourselves. For the first year, of course. We are planning to raise about $75,000 for our company. We need the money to get our business up, doing things such as buying production materials, marketing, including advertisements, securing a factory and machines, and securing places to sell them. $18,000 will go towards making masks, but the bulk of the cost will go towards securing things that will keep our company afloat. We can get this money from online funders such as GoFundMe, securing investments from companies and individuals who care about the environment, and loans from friends and family.
In 2021, we're looking for investments and customer groups. We also expect our market share to grow after the pandemic. After we made our product, we will release them into the market, including created content such as ad copies, sales literature, or any websites. We plan to sell 10,000 masks by the end of the 1 year. Our revenue expectations for 2021 is $65,000. Then we'll collect feedbacks from the first group of users to improve our mask and possibly release a new version in 2022. With that being said, we predict our sales will increase by 5,000 masks, so our expected revenue will increase to $97,500. In 2023, we want to follow the market flow so we know that what people need and possibly look for cooperations or other ways to increase the company's revenue. We expect our sales to keep increase each year, and our expectations in 2023 is $130,000. From 2024 to 2025, we will improve any immature system in the company to bring absolute professional and humanized service to the customer. Finally, we want a company to influence the market with stable customer groups and many long-term partnerships. we predict that our revenue will reach $162,000 in 2024 and $195,000 by the end of 2025.
Thank you so much for your time. And we have listed our contacts on this slide.
Thank you, Team One. Now is the Q&A section. Does any of the judge want to go first?
Okay, I only have 2-3 simple questions. Overall, the presentation is very concise and clear. I like it. And then you guys are very good social conscious or environmental social conscious to address the problem. It's also very good. Now, the first question would be, do you have any plan, say, what pandemic is gone quickly? Do you have a plan beyond the pandemic period?
Yeah, so we know that obviously like the pandemic isn't going to last forever. And so we know that like the demand in masks will go down. But our current plan is to like after the pandemic is like we use the pandemic to like kind of like get some popularity so more people know about our mask and buy it. And after that, we plan to like kind of move into the hospital and construction markets where they use a lot of masks to filter out particles and like potential like viruses and just stuff in the air. And we hope that this will replace the current mask that they're wearing, and we can hopefully get like a higher market share by doing that.
That is a good idea. And then the last question will be, have you done any demand survey now about the market demand of your product? Any one of you have done that? Say, asking your friends, ask your peers of the needs, the likes of this product.
We have not done any surveys yet, but we will take that. We'll use that suggestion and we'll do one like soon.
Yeah, I appreciate that. But just quick principle of starting any company, you want to validate your product at the very, very beginning, and you want to cut the loss as quick as possible. So in the course, you may have to pivot your direction many times. Try to get market feedback as soon as possible. All right, that's my feedback.
Thank you. Yeah, I'll go next. Have you guys done a prototype of this? Have you made like one mask and then tested?
Yeah, so the past week I've actually I bought some hemp fiber and I was trying to make it. However, it didn't really come out the way that I wanted to, so I didn't end up like choosing to show it. But I did buy the fact to test out its properties to see if it works. Yeah.
So making product is hard, huh? Not as easy as people think.
Yeah, I need to like learn how to sew and use a sewing machine. So.
Okay. Actually, the reason I'm saying this is also, the fact that especially when you have a startup company, the first thing you have is the product, right? So, testimonial from customers as well. Prototype is important. And probably even better is that you make a prototype and you go to your potential customer and say, hey, try this on and see if you like it, or what do you think it's worth or not. So probably if you guys keep going on this, probably need to kind of validate the idea was actually the real market. But I do like the concept, and also I think there's a even price point. I would say this is the market you might not even want to price it too low, because you're targeting essentially the people who are environmental friendly, who care about the environment, perhaps even think about having some style as opposed to just a plain simple surgical mask, right? So functionality versus actually even fashion might give you better advantage over other people, and especially your crowd, right? Your crowd is a very environmental conscious and possibly many affluent, youth, I guess. and that might be an interesting way to look at this. A lot of people actually even selling regular masks on Etsy and any social e-commerce platform, right? So I like the idea. I think you guys need to put more probably work to it, but I think the idea is pretty clever.
Okay, I'll go
Yeah.
next then as well if you were done. Were you done?
Yeah, I'm done. Yes, sir.
Cool. Didn't want to interrupt you. Yeah, I'll agree that this was a very well done and very interesting idea. So I'll give you some feedback to try to help, because I think you could probably make a go of this. The problem of the masks being thrown away, those blue masks that we all see, that are sold by the hundreds in these boxes these days that look like, medical masks that our dentists used to wear before they went to the N95 masks. I think we've all seen these like in parking lots, and people just lose them and all that sort of stuff. So I think the problem is really real and really obvious. And I think starting out talking about that, I think you can grab attention just with that. And so think about why people buy those versus buying the cotton masks. I think almost every friend I have who does know how to sew has been making cotton masks the entire time that we've been going through COVID, right? And using the 2-layer ones and putting coffee filters in the middle and all that. So, so why would people use this compared to that potentially? So I think what some of the other judges are saying are probably true. This might be more of an emotional play. Target your market to people who are really, really environmentally conscious, because hemp is an amazing product. Anybody that's been in environmental world, environmental science and all that understands how fast hemp grows and how strong it is and all these other attributes of it. So I think if you really do that focusing on the target market being people who are just so environmentally conscious, the price point won't even matter. The usability, the washability of the cotton versus won't matter. Some of these other things will matter more. So I would say that you could probably make this more of a marketing play to the right target market. And so you mentioned GoFundMe. I think things along those lines could be an interesting path for you. Find the ones that, that maybe serve markets that have more environmentally conscious people in them. And you'll really hit hard with that. So it could really be a marketing play, and I'm not even sure the price point would really matter for you. I would get rid of a whole bunch of the stuff where you talk about competition, because if you go through the strategy of it's environmental, so that when these do end up in landfill at some point in time, no big deal, that sort of thing, I think is enough said. The other point that I just think I'll make, just based on your response to some of the other judges, and I should have said this to the first team too, you have a roadmap and you didn't put your roadmap in your presentation. So when the question was asked, what happens if we're not using, masks and things anymore, what would be next? You have a thought of this and you have ideas for this, and yay you. So put a roadmap slide in there that says, in year 1 through 4, this is what we're doing, in year whatever. And that will show us where your story and vision is going to communicate that you've thought about the future really well. But nice job. And I think you could have some fun with this and have a nice little business out of this.
Thank you for the suggestion.
Yeah, I have
Thank you.
perhaps one more point to really add to what the judges already told you guys. And so I would like to encourage you to think big, and you almost have to do that, right? If you think about it, even you charge premium price, say not $7, but say $20, right? Feels like between $20 and $5 material cost, there's quite a spread. But you have to remember, you have a lot of fixed costs. You have R&D, you have a corporate office, you have general management, and you may have a pay for accounting. You really have to generate sufficient volume, right? So the gap, the sales price and between the sales price and cost of goods sold, right? That's kind of a gross margin, has to be multiplied by enough volume to pay for all those fixed costs. Those things already exist, whether you sell 1 or a million, right? So you need to consider that. As if you're like currently you're planning in 4 or 5 years reaching 200K, implying a pretty small volume, which does not reflect the nature of your product. You have to think bigger. that's going to change everything. How do you find your market channel, right? How do you find your facility to do the production? Yeah, you have to also think about the quantity of your products.
Thank you.
Yeah, I probably would just add one more comments here. So first of all, I really like you guys putting numbers in a lot of slides, like demonstrating what like the concrete market it is. And then I will really anchor with like Barb's comments, like this could be a good vertical play that you are going into a specific target a specific type of person. And then there is actually another things that I want to point out that maybe you guys didn't realize enough is that there is actually one thing that would probably limit your type of mass in industrial place. It's because like if you look at N95 or like surgical mask, there is a one critical layer called it's like an electrostatic charge layer, which is very, very critical to filter a specific type of like particles, which I'm not quite sure if hemp layer can actually replace that. Because like if you're targeting industrial players, like what they care, well, they probably don't care about like eco, frankly speaking. They care more about the performance. So you are actually head to head matchmaking the performance and the cost. So that's a totally different dynamic. That's why like I really echo with Bob's, like probably if you're targeting like consumer, like those like eco awareness person who have like usually have high willingness to pay, but they are actually using this mass in their daily life, not in a like those critical environments. That probably would be a more suitable for this type of product. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Team 2's presentation. Thank you, Team 2's presentation. And thanks, Josh's comment and feedback. Now we will have Team 3 to present their idea.
All right, so I'll screen share my slides. So, all right.
Hello everyone. Our product is called the Earth Bag, and our motto is the truly environmental friendly shopping bag. So a little bit about us. We are passionate high schoolers who do not want to live on a polluted planet. We are part of the generation that has to go fix these problems before it's too late, because in situations like these, time is of the essence. And if we do not act quickly, the planet and everything on it will be in trouble. So my name is Michael Wang. I'm a sophomore currently attending Sharon High School with some basic knowledge in chemistry and other natural sciences.
My name is Owen Wu. I'm a sophomore attending Westboro High School, and I'm passionate about ethics and environmental issues.
So before we introduce our product, I would like to show some realistic yet saddening facts about plastic pollution on our planet. So if you will direct your attention to these images on the side of beaches that have been completely run down by plastic bottles, bags, etc. And some facts that we have come across. Around 12.7 million tons of plastic enters our oceans every year. Currently, there are 5 trillion pieces of plastic in our ocean. And if you line them up all next to each other, that is enough to circle the Earth over 400 times. And in addition to that, it takes 500 years for plastic to break down. And due to those factors, marine life is devastated and soon humans will be affected. Next slide, please. So what is the problem? Obviously, the problem is the overuse of plastic by humans. However, humans need to use plastic in their everyday lives. It is basically impossible to just completely eliminate plastic use. And the main substitute to plastic that people have attempted to use is paper, but that's also not good because on the left side here, we see a completely barren forest, and that is one of the side effects with paper use. And the other substitute to plastic and paper is the reusable bags that some grocery stores will sell, but those are a little bit expensive and they are made of plastic that is unrecyclable and unbiodegradable. Next slide, please.
Oh, my thing's up there.
So, oh, wait, okay. So what is the solution? So the solution is Earthbag, which is a cheaper, replaceable option for plastic, paper, and etc. It's eco-friendly, which means it is reusable, recyclable, and biodegradable. Our product focuses on the 4 R's rather than the 3 R's, which are reduce, reuse, recycle, and regenerate, which I will talk about more in the next slide. Our product is durable and also customizable to your liking, and it does not sacrifice people's needs for bags. And we would like to try to combine all 3 positive of the current option. So a little bit more about the bag itself. The main material that we would like to use are biopolymers, which scientists do believe to be the bags of the future. So biopolymers are plant-based organic material, such as rice, soy, etc. And as a result, the material is compostable, which means it can break down in the land over time, not 500 years, maybe just a few years. And it is also recyclable, which means you can also throw it into your recycling bin and it can be reused to make new bags. And the current material that many companies use is polyethylene. For those of you without a chemistry major, it is a material derived from natural gases, which we know is not ideal to use because the resource is unrenewable and the material is unrecyclable and not biodegradable. Next slide, please. So in summary, our product, we have technologies to make the Earthbag unique and stylish. So we got recyclable yet durable plant-based materials, flexible fabrics in the bag to improve comfort, bright colored straps of your liking, and the style of the bag makes it very versatile. So you could do anything from going to the beach to hauling groceries and even using it as a trash bag. So on the right here is what we want our product to look like. Of course, we do not have a prototype yet, as that requires a lot of research and developing. Next slide, please. So currently there are 3 companies that we looked at that might be competition, but also partnership opportunities for us. So the first one is Crown Poly, which is the company that currently supplies bags to Trader Joe's and I think Whole Foods as well. Some pros is that their bags are compostable, meaning they can break down in landfills. And they are made with plastic and plant-based materials. The cons is that they are still using plastic, and on their website, they mention that they use natural gas to create their bags, which we know is a non-renewable resource, which is what we want to avoid. The second company is Novelex. Novelex is currently the biggest plastic bag or just bag producing company on the market. The brand we looked at is called Bagcraft. They make recyclable bags, which are eco-friendly, cheap, and very popular. Chances are you've come across these bags when you go to a Subway and get a sub, and then the paper packaging around the sub will most likely be from this company. The cons, as mentioned, paper is a whole problem in itself, so we would like to avoid that. And then the last company, which is the most similar to ours, is called Eco Enclose. Maybe a future company that we would like to partner with. They make reusable, recyclable bags and currently are researching regenerative material. The cons, of course, is that they also use paper, and their main focus is on recyclable portion, whereas we would like to put all of our most of our research and developing on the regenerative portion. Next, Owen will introduce the market.
So as you can see here in this graph, the demands for a reusable material for a plastic bag has been increasing. And in 2027, starch-based PLA, PBAT, PBS, and PHA and other reusable materials will be used more. Because of our biodegradable material, our product is robust and it's able to be recycled. Our bags is long lasting, which means we do not need to produce as many because the bag can be used over and over again. The current market projection is on a rapid increase, so it should be easier to succeed. So the market is open and people are constantly looking for something to reduce the plastic bag use. People are also caring about the environments, and this topic fits right in. We plan on to partner with grocery stores and online delivery services. And there is no better time to promote a good alternative to plastic bags. The current market projection, on average, a traditional plastic bag I found costs around 1.2 cents to make, while a bag made from reusable materials only costs 1.5 cents to make. The difference is small and results in the price being lower since we do not need to produce as many bags as plastic bags. So here are the funding needs. So we are seeking an investment of $1 million to be spent on. 50% of that will be spent on research and development, and 15% of that will be spent on material. 25% of that will be spent on lab equipment, and miscellaneous is 10%. Just as a note, for miscellaneous, we are planning to team up with colleges and other research places to be able to provide a place where we are able to research materials and then produce small prototypes. Then we will try to partner with grocery stores and delivery services to expose the public to our product. And then later, another 50% will be used to produce the bags for general operation. 40% of that will become our salary, and then 10% will be our rent. When starting, we plan on selling our bag for $1, and this is subject to change based on sales. If our bag is successful in future years, we may be able to drop the price. So this is our 5-year plan. During years 1 and 2, we will be research heavy and produce different prototypes to see which one fits the public's needs the best. During year 3, we would like to pick up the pace in research and development, as we could have 2 years of time research. During year 3, we would ask for a second round of investments, currently projected to be around $6 million. Also, in year 4 and 5, we would like to start manufacturing and producing our own products, preferably in the USA. So the sales have to increase there as well. So thank you. You can check out our social media on Instagram, the Earth Bag, where we post our plans about the bag and environmental facts. You can contact us at our emails listed below. And thank you for listening to our presentation.
Thank you, Team 3. And now it's the Q&A section. John Wang, do you want to go first?
Okay. Again, it's an interesting and very positive topic to address the problem. And then I do like your presentation. You do show some energy and passionate about the topic in such a Saturday morning. Then a suggestion here is I do notice on one of your slide, which is called "What is Earth Bag?" The format could be is not consistent. When you present your presentation, this is very, very detailed. But the presentation, you want to make it flawless, flushed, because business is very, very hard to pursue and run. So that you want to present it to them as a flawless one. You're paying attention to details. That's an image to pay attention to. And then also regarding your finance plan wise, as a startup company, you don't want to give away too much equity for your initial low valuation. So if you don't need that much money, and then probably don't need to raise that much money. Otherwise, you give away a very big stake of your equity. Also, I noticed even among the previous two teams together with you, normally you have not prepared for the initial inventories stocking cost. If you plan to sell a lot of product, it's going to cost a lot of money. Unless you can finance that from the customer, finance that from the bank, it's going to be a big chunk of your money needed toward that too. And a lot of times investors tend to like that. That means you have demand. You prepare for the market needs. So that is my recommendation. Well, overall, it's a very concise, clear presentation. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, maybe I can go next. Yeah, great presentation first. I want to talk a little bit about like this scenario. It's actually where like from our perspective, very typical scenarios that you're trying to adjust a long existing problems, right? This problem is so well known, like everybody knows that it is important and it is very hard to solve. And then there are multiple players on the market trying to do so. So here, probably this is not the first time like investor hear such a story. So we would be very interesting to hear like why you consider like yourself or your team have the advantage comparing to other people. Like for example, like technically speaking, like we all have like we have this type of product for a long time, but because like the price is so high or like the performance is not high enough, so that's why like we are not seeing it everywhere. So probably we see it somewhere in the high-end supermarket or in the high-end restaurants, but we are not seeing it everywhere. So probably if you maybe I'm just saying like probably if you identify, okay, now the key challenge in the industry are still like cost and performance or performance cost ratio, and then say, okay, now here's why our team we have this special technology or we have this special technical backgrounds or some type of special resources that we can do this better than the other players. That brings us the competitive advantage. Yeah. So I hope maybe you guys can think a little bit more about on this side, and then that would be that would make you like you can tell a more convincing plans for the potential investors.
So I think I can, why don't I just follow through what Hongkai just mentioned, and let's double click into what he just said. Clearly, as a consumer, I found your product to be very appealing. I like to get the ability to really reuse it, and also it also makes me feel good. It's a biodegradable as well as durable, right? It's a very nice attribute, but there's still a price would be an issue and a concern. I hope your team can really double click different contributor to that price, right? So the raw materials is only part of it, and but also the production process. In whatever you can do to make sure the manufacturing engineering process would be highly efficient, right? And also production equipment would take pretty big fixed cost, which need to be amortized, over pretty significant volume. I gave similar comments in the previous team here. Could you think of you can leverage some third party like contract manufacturers, which can involve certain level of manufacturing process modification? You can really tap into the existing capex, so to make sure you're not creating incremental capex burdens, right? So and as well as could you think of any supply chain benefit? You will be able to pre-negotiate certain kind of raw material supply, therefore to really lower your your cost of production. I feel like all those areas you guys perhaps really need to double click. It's just not just about the product innovation. It's look pretty cool product. To be able to bring the cool product to the market at an acceptable price would make your solution more pragmatic.
Thank you.
Yeah, perhaps I will be the next. I will actually follow the same theme the last team had. Obviously, both of you have sort of the environmental impact angle. If you look at what your team or maybe this product can focus on, usually it's only one side of one aspect of a business. So obviously, you guys are not sort of chemical PhD who come up with new material for anything, right? So in some way, I see probably your strength might be, you are the audience and you are the sort of the customer, especially the generation of you guys. So I would probably just jump to the point that, perhaps this is another marketing play you could do as opposed to manufacturing play and product play. And so when you have the hashtag the Earth bag, guess what I did? I actually went on Instagram and looked for that. I couldn't find it, right? So in some way, I think you probably need to think about almost like what's your strength and how do you market it compared to some other competitors, and why are you a little different. So in terms of arrangement of presentation, I would recommend you guys actually spend much less time talk about the problem, because the problem is actually very obvious, right? But focus more on your own product differentiation point. And also more importantly, honestly, I think the first two team probably did a little bit better job than you guys, is that you have to get some excitement out of the audience, right? So you almost like being a sort of a good entrepreneur, you need to be a good sales guy. And I didn't see that sort of passion in that. That's sort of the comment I have. And I'll leave it to other judges. Yeah.
Okay, last but not least. So I think you guys did a really good job. So again, it's hard when we're giving back because we're trying to think of things to improve typically. And so just take that in line too. Something struck me as kind of interesting as we were talking about this, because you were reminding us of all the plastic in the oceans and things like that. And the plastic in the oceans, while it's obviously a lot of water bottles and things, because people are drinking water bottles on their boats and throwing them into the water. The thing that occurred to me is people are not probably throwing those reusable bags that, I have 5 bags in my car that I use when I go grocery shopping, and I've probably had them now for 3 years. They last a really long time. So it's probably not that's ending up in the ocean. What's probably ending up in the ocean is something that you sort of slid in, which is the little bag that your sub from Subway is wrapped in. And so, part of my thinking was maybe it's not providing us with a nicer biodegradable, that's all nice, reusable bag, but maybe, trying to figure out what technology could deliver the kinds of bags that a Subway, uses, where quite truthfully, they typically are used once and thrown away. And that might be even a grander, I'm kind of doing the go big or go home model of feedback for you, right? So, kind of a grander opportunity for this. And I don't know, is anybody else doing that? I do happen to know, because I taught a case on this, that there's a manufacturer, a very well-known manufacturer's name I'm forgetting, it's Grupo something in Brazil, that's one of the plastic garbage bag manufacturers like you buy in the grocery store, the roll of it. So I'm kind of thinking, is there somebody like that that could help you with this? Which then led me to the thought of, maybe there's a market outside the US. We're not really the forefront of clean and green technology necessarily. There are other countries that care about these things more. And going back to the feedback that I forget which judge, offered you, sorry guys, finding this technology with in one of the universities, and then maybe your play is working with one of the manufacturers, like the folks in Brazil, to try to bring these to market in an area where there's countries where you can't use products that don't have a high proportion of biodegradability, or who are having even worse problems in their oceans, if you can believe that, than we are. So there's something interesting here. So the question is, could you all find additional team members and kind of bring this together? Which led me my other comment of, I actually thought that you guys asking for $1 million, while it probably is a lot, it was probably more realistic than some of the other teams where they were only looking for like, $25,000 or $30,000, because everything really costs a lot, and everybody's forgetting to bake their own salaries into these financials, right? You guys are going to want to get paid. Anyway, that was it, but very good job, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, judges, for the helpful comments and feedback, and thanks Team 3's performance. Now we have, last but not the least, Team 4. You guys can just share the screen. Yep.
Okay, before I start this presentation, I want you guys all to think of a time when you felt unsafe while walking alone on the streets, or when you felt scared for your daughter walking alone from school for the first time. Hello, we are the Just in Time Company, a group of Asian female high school sophomores working to decrease the number of victims of sexual violence, attacks such as hate crimes, and other such cases. Today, we will be showing you our unique product that helps us achieve this goal.
Every 73 seconds, an American is sexually assaulted, and nearly 1 in 5 women have experienced completed or attempted rape during her lifetime. And from our customer survey, over 90% of people felt unsafe going outside alone. Since this survey was given out back in January, we believe this percentage will be definitely higher, much higher, with the rising hate crime against Asian Americans. And this is a huge issue in our society, and not enough things have been done to solve this problem. There's still countless people facing safety issues in our society today.
So the current solutions that we have are heavy-duty weapons that are pretty inconvenient to carry around. So we know that not everyone has a bag to carry this, and sometimes they might even forget it when they leave the house. So what is our solution? We are advocating a product that makes up for this inconvenience by adding self-defense features to something we always have on us, our phones. So our product is a self-defense phone case with a built-in portable pepper spray, stun gun, and a backup battery that will protect you in times of danger. And now we will show a video preview of what our product will look like. Okay, now on to product design. Our phone case is designed to look like a regular battery phone case on the outside, but on the inside, there are many valuable features that will help save our customers' lives in times of danger. So our phone case consists of a wireless charging battery for the phone and a special rechargeable pen. We plan to use silicone and carbon fiber as our main materials for this phone case, so we can make it as thin as it can be. And now moving on to the pen. This pen is a 2-in-1 self-defense pen with a refillable pepper spray and a mini rechargeable stun gun. And this pen will easily lock into the phone case, and since it has a lock feature, and it also has a lock feature at the top of the phone case, so customers won't accidentally release the pen. There's also a power button on the pen, and it also has a lock feature. At the bottom of the pen is the electro projectile, and we also have light indicators on both the battery and the pen, so the customers would know when it needs to be charged. As we expand after the release of our product, we plan to make our cases in various shapes and sizes to accommodate both iPhone and Android users, making it available to a larger range of people. We also plan to come up with many different designs and colors to stand out from our competitors and also allow users to have something to suit their style.
So here are our product selling points. First, it is easy to use. With our design, it allows our features to be user-friendly, making it practical to use on a day-to-day basis. Second of all, it is made of high-quality material, which has been carefully picked and has a well-thought-out implementation into the product. And it also works as a 4-in-1. It is a mini stun gun, a mini pepper spray, and a charger, while all at the same time working as a phone case. And lastly, our special feature is the 2-in-1 self-defense pen, which has interchangeable parts that can be bought on our website or on Amazon.
Now, all of these products have one thing in common, that it's portable. But ours is unique because it checks out all 7 boxes. Listed is the self-defense keychain, which is popular on TikTok and social media. Yellow jacket, with the second most amount of checks, has some key features, although with a non-modern design. Cheetah is not even a phone case, it's a taser that looks like a phone. And Spray Tech, a phone case with an attached pepper spray on it. Just in Case not only has all of this, but also wireless charging and a minimalistic design. It's the only case that can protect you in any type of situation. Even if your phone dies or your pepper spray runs out, we have options. Now, the type of person that would be ideal for this product is 18 years or older, living in the city or dangerous neighborhoods, is a college student, and more general information, they would walk outside alone very often, and of course, carry their phone on them all the time. Now, the market for this product is huge. There are about 88.7 million females in this age range, and out of this, 10.3 million go to college in the United States. There are about 18.6 million Asian Americans in the United States, and these groups of people are the most susceptible to harassment while walking alone on the street, something we're trying to put a stop to.
In order to market our product, we will reach out to our target market through the one thing that has become a part of our day-to-day life, social media. Nowadays, the first thing everyone does is browse through their Instagram or TikTok. So we will utilize these platforms such as Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and Facebook as social issues are currently being brought to light by people of all ages. Due to this increase in awareness among these social media users, it makes our product relevant right now. A marketing agency would also be hired to help our sales and audience grow. We will be having store partnerships with retail and local stores, which would also help us promote our product.
Why now? Recall and keep in mind the scenario that you were given at the beginning of this presentation. Women ages 18 to 24
who are college students are 3 times more likely than women in general to experience sexual violence. Women the same age range that don't go to college are 4 times more likely. Now, I am sure many of you, including myself, has felt the need to speed walk home. And for me, this has become a habit. And we shouldn't have to feel like this. I am scared when I see the news. I am scared when I see people like me experiencing hate crimes, experiencing unfair treatment, which has been rising. Since the pandemic, hate crimes against Asian Americans has almost doubled in the most largest and populous cities in the United States. I'm not sure if you heard of this, but about a week ago, a woman named Sarah Everard was kidnapped and murdered when she was walking home alone. Around the same time, 8 people were killed in a shooting in Atlanta, 6 of them being Asian American. Now, this caused anger, rightfully so, on all platforms and all communities. And this has started movements to raise awareness. You have probably heard of Stop AAPI Hate, Black Lives Matter, Me Too. These movements have shown light on the problems that go deep in our society, but major change has yet to be done. With the growing amount of assault, harassment, and crimes against minorities, the right time to protect ourselves is now. Our phone case, just in case, would retail for $85, which is the more affordable option compared to our competitors. Customers would have to pay $30 to have their stun guns replaced and pay $10 for pepper spray refills. We will be distributing our product via web and mobile channels by selling our product online on Amazon and our own website, as well as through physical channels by having partnership with other stores. These store partnerships will allow us to sell our phone cases in locations where shipments can't be made to customers due to legal reasons such as Massachusetts. On top of that, we plan to physically expand our store and open up one of our own in the far future. A warranty subscription will be offered to users as well, in which they would pay $12.50 every 6 months for free limited refills and replacements. Now I will briefly show our website. The link should be in the chat if you want to check it out later. And this is the website we would be using if we were to actually carry out this idea. Some features that we have is a home page, shop page, about us page, along with some contact information, brief description on our product, and you can click here to buy the product, and a preview on our about us page. Any questions or concerns can be filled out here and submitted. If we click on shop, here's our product just in case, which retails for $85. A short description and information, as well as policies. You can click here to add to cart. And lastly, about us page, which explains our mission and why our mission is so important. Now back to the presentation.
So this is the financial projection for 1 year with investment. We expect a 4 times growth rate by the end of 2022 and 100K profit with investment support. This is the next slide, please. And this is the customer growth projection for 10-year. And it's based on the promised growth rate from our marketing agency being deployed. And by the end of the 10-year period, we expect 500 million customers using our phone case in total. Finally, this is the financial projection for a 10-year period. We will expect more than 40 million revenue and more than 20 million profit, but in total by the end of 10-year period. The projected expense is almost the same as our profit, mainly because we invest not only in marketing, but also much more in our phone case manufacturing, because the quality of this phone case will be very vital to our customers in order to protect their safety. These projections are based on the growth rate in the first year. We expect much more revenue and profit as we expand our product line, features, which will later be explained in the milestone slide. And in this 10-year period, we projected some exponential growth, but we expect a more stable revenue and profit growth later on as we develop into a more mature consumer system.
After weeks of reaching out to influencers as well as many stores, out of those stores, we got a response from a well-known local store amongst the Vietnamese community in Dorchester, NECINA, agreeing to have a store partnership from the chief operating officer. And we were able to reach out to our local micro center's market manager, who was able to get us into contact with their lead test merchant, who was open to testing our product before having it being sold in their stores. And this is in actuality really good for our product, as Micro Center is a retail store ranked 93 out of 100 in the US. An influencer, Stop Agent Hate, with a following of 43.1 thousand, actually got back to us with positive feedback, saying that they would love to help promote our product and also buy some for local Asian American elders. Then with the customer survey we sent out for market validation, we collected the data and saw that 80% of survey takers said that they wanted a taser as a feature on the phone case, which would be the mini stun gun we have implemented into the product. And 85% of survey takers said that they wanted a backup battery as a feature of the phone case.
For our milestone, we have gone past development phase 1 and phase 2, and currently in networking phase. We plan to publicly release in 2022, and we will reach out for collaborations and partnerships soon after release. By the mid-phase of 10-year period, although we still continue online shopping, we will also expand to physical stores as well as expanding our product lines, which include different styling, models of the case, and adding more variations to the attachment of phone case than just having stun gun and pepper spray. Although our early targeted customer are 18 or above, we will also expand our product line to children-friendly cases. We hope that our expansion and variations models will protect our customers' safety and also satisfy their fashion needs.
Okay, now that you have learned about our product and our plan, I would like to briefly introduce our team. My name is Christina Wong, CEO of JIT Company.
I'm Justine Wei, Head of Finance.
I'm Lena Tran, Head of Product. I'm Athena Nguyen, Head of Marketing.
And our advisors, Hannah and Vivian, provided us with many helpful guidance and advice for our product development and plans. So we are asking for an 100K investment for 10% shares, which would be used towards manufacturing, utilities, marketing, advertising, and also just achieving our milestones in the future. We take quality of our products very seriously because it will protect many people's lives. So we will use almost half the investment on manufacturing and inventory. And also to further spread our influence and promote our products, we will use about a third of the money for advertising and more marketing, and the rest of the money will be crucial cash to maintain our financial stability in the beginning of our business, since we are a new startup. And so we're also looking for connections with manufacturers to make the production more efficient and also our release date sooner, because we know that this product solves many urgent and current issues. So just in case you or someone you know, such as your daughter, your mom, or even your grandparents, will feel safer while walking alone on the street, whether from school or work. With the growing amount of assault and hate crimes, the right time to protect ourselves is now. With that being said, if you're interested in our product, feel free to contact us with our email and phone number. Thank you.
Thank you, Team Ford. It's great job, good job. Let's see if George have any feedback or question on Team Ford's products.
I have to go first, being the woman on the panel here. I'm blown away by this, ladies. This is really quite amazing. So I'm going to start off by saying that, first of all, you're the first team that did what I call storytelling. You grabbed us in from the beginning with, unfortunately, a negative but engaging story nevertheless, right? And regardless of whether what you have to say is sad or happy, that's a really great way to relate to the audience. Tell them why you started something or how you started something, what some of the problems are. And you also had passion in that. So that was truly amazing. I love the name, by the way. You're also the first team, so I'm a kind of a marketing person by background. You're also the first team that actually put enough marketing dollars in to actually have some possible chance of having success in here. Everybody always underestimates how much it's going to cost. The fact that you actually are thinking of hiring an agency, I think is really smart. I would make the suggestion that you actually look for a public relations firm versus a marketing agency. You all have a wonderful story to tell. And I could see the likes of, is Oprah still on? Oprah, Steve Harvey, I don't know, The View, of you all getting on, young people who are going to be working on a company to deliver something like this is really amazing. So I would build that into your plans and look for a public relations firm to help you do that, because I think that that's how this will spread. I didn't even know that those other products existed. So I will also say that it's not a crowded market, and that you have some, opportunities there. The fact you had a roadmap was really interesting too. Just one more comment, because I have so many of them. I was so impressed. But my one other comment is, do you ladies know of a company that's based out of Lowell, Massachusetts, so they're not very far, called Invisaware? Had you heard of Invisaware at all? They're a company that was only a startup about maybe 5 or 6 years ago. So a fairly young team that's doing really well. I bought 2 of them, by the way, so I know I'm outside your target market, but I would probably buy what you have too, because I do walk in the city a lot. But the Invisaware is jewelry, so it's maybe the size of a, I don't know, quarter, but a little thicker, and you wear it on a chain or on a bracelet or whatever. And it's got a button that you push that will talk to your smartphone and dial 911 and things like that. And so I bought 2 of those, one in gold and one in silver, so that when I'm walking, because I don't always have my phone in my hand because I'm afraid I'll drop it. So it might be in my pocket or something, but it's really easy to just grab and push one of these if I didn't feel safe. We'll also call them emergency people. I mention them because they've gotten to market. They're probably just kind of crossing the chasm. It might be worth reaching out to them and learning from them, as well as I could possibly see some creative partnerships. Heck, not competitive, cooperative, kinds of safety products and all that. I'm sure the other judges probably have some really interesting feedback for you. So I'll just say, whoa, go for it. I'm really impressed.
Thank you.
Thank you. Do you mind putting maybe the name in the chat so I can maybe contact them in the future? Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, I have to say I was pretty blown away by this as well. My previous life I was with P&G, so I kind of, I can tell you guys actually are marketers. So if you put things in, different, buckets of talents, I think this is definitely your team's strength. Echoing what Barbara was saying. Now, wear my product hat. Do you guys file patents or anything like defendable to help your defend your position? Because obviously it's a great idea. It's so clever, and I guarantee you, the minute you have something on a Kickstarter or somewhere, there's probably 100 manufacturers in China is going to copy it. So how do you guys deal with that?
So like picking a manufacturer?
No. What's the sort of, you're going to have a lot of copycats, because this is a great idea, right? It's kind of obvious. But then how do you defend your position if somebody starts to copy you, right?
I think we can put like a trademark on our product so that other people, and like a patent, so other people won't be able to copy our product. And so it's, yeah, I
would suggest you actually really think about that. Patents is one thing, even design patent might be better than nothing, right? And also the other way to look at this is that sometimes even patents are not really helpful. So your only defense is you need to move fast. So you kind of build up your brand faster than everybody else.
Okay.
I'll leave that question to other judges, but I'm blown away by your plan. So
well, I don't know about other judges. I got my wallet in front of me, I got my credit card in front of me. I'm ready to place orders. I do have a daughter. Safety is a really serious concern for mine. By the way, I do concur with what Tony just mentioned, right? Your solution here perhaps would be, replicable by the other parties here. But we can take a page from Tony's ex-employer, Procter & Gamble, right? And they produce all those kind of hair products, and they're asking for a bit premium than the generic brand. You may want to think about, for this consumer goods product, and the depth may not be in the product itself, but the virtual value associated with the brand, with uniqueness, with awareness in your target population here. You may want to think about define your product a bit more broadly, and more than just a physical product, right? What about those kind of virtualness? You can occupy a unique spot in the target consumer's mind. That's going to give you a defining right.
Yeah, I was also going to suggest you need to have a patent strategy, which is very important for such a product and an early stage startup company. And then I echo Barbara's comment about excitement about your presentation idea. It's truly a very wonderful idea and presentation. Now, the one very plus is a very basic concept of starting up a company at minimum amount of cost called lean startup. You do have a virtual presentation showing everything, every details of what this product likes. And just one picture, one video shows everything, saves a lot of time. That is wonderful. So I like that too. Switching to the marketing perspective wise, there's very tiny things you can add to there to set the foundation for your projection, which is so-called customer willingness to pay. You have done the market survey with real store, real customer. They must tell you what's the price they want to pay. And with that number, you can set up the price and also the financial projection. It would be much, much solid. So that's one. And then one more thing is just from my technologist head wise, does this small little device store so much energy to be harmful to bad guy? Have you done any calculation, make it feasible, usable, physically useful?
So we haven't really made a prototype yet because we do know like this is kind of dangerous and we do need like adult supervision to actually purchase a stun gun and pepper spray. So we're actually planning on working with our science teacher in our school because they are like experts in this field. And we plan to do that once we like get back to school.
Okay, but
We
this
can't
is
really do that right now.
feasibility of this product in such a small volume, energy density is a very, critical starting point of this design. So that's that you should have done that. And but overall, it's well done. I'm kind of like blown away by the idea. So clear and so targeted for the worsened situation, even though it's a sadly situation. But you are obviously targeting to address the problem. Great job.
Thank you.
Yeah, echo all the judges' comments. I really like the storytelling, and I really like. I can really hear your enthusiasms like through all the presentations. So great job. So talking about like how to protect the products, using patents like trademark, it's or know-hows. It's one thing. It's one way to do so. The other way to do so is actually if you're if the product like by in its nature it's very easy to be copied by other people's, then probably you consider like focusing a lot on how to do the marketing, how to do the sales by simply outcompete like other competitors on the markets. It's just like, I mean, when you go to the supermarket and pick up a milk or juice, like orange juice, I mean, there is no, like basically nothing technically has the protection there, right? But why you choose one brand out of others? That's like how you do the marketing. So I think here, like Barb can give you guys a great suggestions like how to do it. And so if your product, like your product branding and marketing is just better than others, and then you keep like understanding your customers' need faster than your competitors, so that you like you iterate, you make the next version quicker and better. That could also be your barrier, actually.
Yeah, actually, just to add to that, I think I have to say that this is actually the first time ever I saw a business plan that's making a weapon. So I thought it was kind of really unique. But coming with weapon, safety is always the most important thing too, right? So I think I would totally encourage you. I think you have a very interesting advantage in this case is that it's actually paired with a phone. So as you can tell, my engineer hat is kind of turning at this point. So uh, how can you use the phone technology to make this safer, for example? Like, say, for example, if only you can do with your fingerprints or face ID to use the zapper, but nobody else, right? So in case if the bad guy got a hold of your phone, what will happen, right? They will turn against you. So the things, clever ideas like that, I think you have so many, possibilities out there. I would strongly recommend you pursue this idea further.
Thank you, George. Helpful feedback, and thank you, team, for this presentation. All the team done a great job on the presentation. I'm sure Josh will need some time to come up with the best team. And so now we are moving on to the discussion section. So we will need to send all the judges to a breakout room so that they can discuss on the performance of the team and then come up with a winner. By the time the delegated judge will announce the result of the team. So right now, Troy, if you could please send all 5 judges to a breakout room, and that's 20 minutes.
So Aaron, I will go to the judge of the breakout room since Connie is not there, just to make sure.
Okay.
If they need anything from us, okay? You
Okay,
stay
got
here.
it.
Okay.
Oh, while we are here waiting on the result, we invited the Yes alumni, Eric Bao, and he's the as Aiden know it, he's a Yes student in Yes 4 team, and
he's my
we would
partner.
like to hear he's gonna share his experience with Yes and what he learned from Yes program. So I'm gonna turn the stage to Eric Bao.
Okay, cool. Hey guys. So I was a student in Yes last year, and I worked on something with Aiden. I know he's here right now. Let me just share my screen real quickly. So I'll just show you guys our pitch from last year. So basically, we came up with an idea called Easy Shop, which was a way for like a faster grocery shopping experience where you would like input your shopping list into like this app, and the app would like plot a route through the grocery store so you could like pick up all of your items quickly. I'm just gonna go through this really quickly because I have some other stuff that I want to share as well. So this was our team. Our problem was basically just saying that it took too long to find items in a grocery store if you went for the first time or something. And a lot of times you end up buying more than you really need or want, so you spend a lot of extra money. So the idea was to have it so you could quickly buy all your stuff and get out of the grocery store. There's a little graphic there kind of showing what the app would look like. There's another one here showing the process of how it would work. And we have some slides about the market opportunity, competition, timeline. I watched, I think, most of the pitches this year, and I thought they were really, really nice. Aiden, if you want to talk a bit about it, you're free to.
Okay, yeah. Like basically we were just like for last year we were making like an app, and we were coding it to basically map out like the quickest possible route. We were like coding it to map out the quickest possible route through a grocery store, and we were using various location tracking technology like like there was some magnetic thing that we researched and stuff like that. And we were basically just we were using like pathfinding algorithms and like machine learning. So that was basically a general summary.
All right. I'm just gonna move on because I have some other stuff to cover. But this experience in YES kind of gave me a lot of background in entrepreneurship and kind of helped me realize that I was really excited and passionate about this topic. So in the past year, I actually worked on a skincare startup called Lenador. It's an all-natural skincare product that's vegan. We just launched like a month ago, and we're actually doing pretty well so far. You can check it out at lenadorusa.com. If you guys are curious, I can show you the product. I have it actually by me right here. This is the shipping box that it would come in, and there's the jar of our cream in there. But I think my experience in YES has really guided me in working on this project in my own time. I'm just gonna make sure I have enough time here, and you can check out our product page here. Right, and I know you guys are all probably doing this program because you're curious about entrepreneurship or something, or want to do it in the future. So I want to introduce you to this summer school called Via Vita Veritas Summer School. And basically, it's a summer program that's designed to help students like us that are passionate about these topics to kind of enrich ourselves and learn more. So there's two summer programs. There's one that's called the Leadership Program. And we have top lawyers from all of Massachusetts coming in to talk with us, and lawyers throughout the whole country as well. And the goal of this program is to eventually lead into a mock trial. And the winners of the mock trial actually receive a cash prize. The second program is a entrepreneurship program. We have Harvard Business School and MIT professors coming to speak with us. And it's similar to the YES program, where on the last day of this program, we'll have business pitches and the winner will also have a cash prize. So again, if you guys are interested in this topic, I highly recommend you guys check out the summer school. There's a lot of really great programs here. I have a few videos to introduce.
Wait, did you found this?
No, this is just a program that I want to show you guys. Let me see if I can get this video up. Here's an introductory video of one of our speakers. Can you guys hear the video right now?
Nope.
No? Okay, hold up. Is that better?
Hi, my name is Andy Wu,
Yep.
and I am a professor at Harvard Business School, where I research and teach strategy for technology ventures. It's a pleasure to be a part of the Via Vita Veritas Summer School program again. It is a great group of students. I'd like to thank Meng Bao and Linnell Lin for their leadership in building out the phenomenal program and bringing together a great group of students and mentors. Thank you.
All right, so he's going to be speaking at the entrepreneurship program. And here's an introduction of one of the attorneys for our mock trial program as well.
Hello, students and families. My name is Josh McGuire. I am an attorney with a civil litigation practice in Newton, Massachusetts, but I am also a very, very passionate participant in the high school mock trial program, and I'm thrilled to be working with Via Vita Veritas Summer School this year to be able to help them present their mock trial program. Mock trial is a fantastic activity, whether you want to be actually becoming a lawyer or just learn a set of skills that are generally useful no matter what it is that you hold in your future. So yes, we're going to be learning about how to do the specific things that take place in a trial: direct examinations, cross-examinations, testimony, entering evidence, doing opening statements and closing arguments. But we're also going to be learning things about critical thinking, persuasion, presentation skills, marshaling arguments, getting up on your feet and reacting to something else that's going on in a discussion or a debate with other people. These are really, really important skills, and mock trial is a fantastic way to learn them. I'm really excited to be bringing the summer program to you. I think that, look, it's an academic program. It's intense. You learn a lot of great things, but it's also a summer program. So I like to keep it fun. I like to keep it light. I like to keep everybody's competitive juices flowing a little bit and to have a little bit of fun. So if you're at all thinking about the law, or even just about this particular set of skills, I strongly encourage you to do this introduction to mock trial and to give it a shot. It's a really, really great program. I'm sure you're going to have a lot of fun. Thanks.
Great. I think I have a bit of time left. So if you guys have any questions about like my experience and my experience afterwards or the summer program, you can check it out at vvvss.org. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask me.
So is this Lee Nodder thing, is this the thing that you wanted to do at the beginning of last year?
At the beginning of last year, it was still in like a conceptual stage, but I honestly
like that your parents like gave you like said that like you wanted to do?
Yeah, so if you guys want to know a little bit about this story, basically my mom and her colleague developed this cream that we honestly just use at home for ourselves, and I told them that maybe it might be nice to sell it, so we just started developing it, and this is kind of how it turned out. It can be used for a lot of things. It's an acne cream. It treats eczema, things like that. It works for a lot of stuff.
How did you make the website?
I used Wix.
Thanks, Rick, sharing the information. That's incredible. Does anyone have any question? Anyone want to share like what you guys learned over the past 6 months and your feeling?
I just think that that's like a really cool like website, and like it's like really, it's cool that you've already gotten a product. Like we've gotten a prototype, but like to actually have it like selling and stuff, like especially since like you only started it like in the summer probably because we finished in the summer of last year. So that means that you had like a small time and you got all this done, which is amazing.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. If you guys are curious, I can just go ahead. Sorry, I thought I heard someone.
Yes,
I'll share.
Eric. I'd like to ask, so yeah, could you share your story with us? Like,
Oh yeah.
yeah, it must be very something interesting going on, like how you and your partners developed this cream, and did you met some difficulties, and how did you resolve them?
Yeah, so I think the original idea occurred to us when actually the full story was really like my sister had some minor skin problems, and my mom and her partner both had experience in this stuff, so they developed a cream that they just used personally, like within our families, just to help our skin. And honestly, I thought it might be nice to turn it into a product. So it's been slowly moving along for, I would say, a few years at this point. But we never really like started turning it like really into a product until I think the spring of last year. In terms of difficulties, so far it's been pretty smooth. I don't think we've encountered anything really terrible. I think we have a really, really great team. And yeah, the whole process has been, it's just time consuming, I would say. That's the biggest thing. You have to put a lot of time into it. And you can, if you check our website out, there's a whole story of like how my mom and her partner kind of worked on this. Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
I have one question. What advice would you give us, like having experience with like Lee Nodder and like based off of in comparison to like last year's stuff and like seeing all of us, like what advice would you give us, like for especially for making our business idea and like business plan that we've worked really hard on into an actual profitable business? Like that step, like between going from business plan to like making money, getting real investors. Not that the people here aren't real, but
I think the biggest thing is because we're so young, I guess we tend to feel like we know a lot about what we're doing, but in reality, we're really like not experienced with all this stuff, despite having done all these programs and stuff. So I think my biggest piece of advice would probably be to look for mentors and people that have experience working in marketing or business and stuff like that, who have like been through the process to kind of guide you in a way. I think that's if you can find someone to help you with that, or even hire somebody, I think that's the biggest advice that I would have.
Thank you, Eric, for the advice. I have a question. Do you guys how do you guys do the marketing for your products?
Yeah, so we have, because we just launched in March, like early March, we have a social media page. Actually, early February, my bad. We have a social media page on Instagram called Lenador USA. We're also on Facebook under the same tag. I think that's like our main way of marketing so far. We also, I can probably show you if I screen share my phone. I think I could do that. Hold on, let me try. But we also do like word of mouth stuff because it's a local business. We go around just talking to people about it, and it spreads by word of mouth throughout our area because we live in a pretty small town, Massachusetts. Let me see if I can share my phone. All right, let me know if y'all can see this.
Yeah, we can see it.
Yeah, so this is our page so far. We just launched whenever this post was posted, March 1st. So we've only been going for a little while, and we have made like a little bit of money. I wouldn't say too much, but we've sold. And you guys can just learn more here if you want to. Let me know if you have any questions about this.
I think that's incredible that the product you guys doing and the company. I have one more question is, what do you think that the biggest thing that you learned from the YES program? Or name a few.
Yeah, I think the program was really great. I learned a lot of things from it. I think just the whole process of going through making the business pitch and writing all that out and making the slides kind of really gave me a really good idea of kind of how I should progress within this within a business and like what the steps I needed to take were. I think it really helped me outline a lot of the steps that I wanted to take and help me flesh out a lot of the ideas that I eventually started to have. I think the biggest thing though was I remember because we were in person last year at the start of this session, I think in early or fall of 2019, we had this ideation market validation session. I thought that was really, really great because that's something that I think really helped us develop this cream where we were able to identify competition, make sure our product had a sizable market that we could sort of attack. I think, yeah, that was probably the biggest thing that I learned.
Okay, yeah. Thank you, Eric. What about, I'm gonna move into other group.
Yeah.
For the yes 15 student, do you guys what do you guys see you guys have improved during the program? Group one, do you want to share anything, or any group?
Wait, like, who are you asking this to, Eric?
Oh yeah,
or-
in general, if you guys want to share, like, what have you learned in the past 6 months, and what do you think is so helpful? And
Well,
yeah, it's
alright.
general question to the
Okay,
group.
so, well, like, having taken both Yes 14 and Yes 15, I've definitely like learned like, especially based off of the feedback like from last year, like what stuff to focus on, like value proposition, like how to do all the finance stuff, and like I've really been able to build upon that. And also I've learned that like communication is one of the most important factors. And in fact, what helped like us do so well last year was probably mostly because of the fact that, first of all, we were in person, we developed those personal relationships. And so even when we went online, we were able to communicate seamlessly. And like in some ways, we didn't even need to talk to each other in order to know what each other were like thinking and like putting on. And it's because of like the unity of a group. Something that like I feel was a lot harder this year to establish initially, like especially since like for us, we weren't able to get communication between each other until like way into the competition. While like originally we were able to like because we met each other in person, we were able to like contact people, like contact and meet up outside of the program even.
Thanks, Aidan. Thanks for sharing. Yeah, this year is a little bit different. We are doing the program remotely. What about team 2? Thomas, do you want to share any thought on the program and what you learned?
I can. I like the program. Yeah, I learned a lot of new things about like entrepreneurship and like all aspects of business. And I would say it was overall a great experience.
Yeah, I feel like not just that. You can like learn about how to like work with people as a team, and part of because you gotta do like presentations and stuff. I feel like it will increase your public speaking skill as well, and and also there's a lot of stuff involving time, so time management it's also an important part to experience in the program, also for you to maybe develop as a skill. And yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, and I guess also like learning about like what the like more important parts of the pitch are, and like what, because like originally ours was pretty long, and like so what parts to cut, I guess, and just making it like more concise and better.
Oh, I have one last question for Eric. All right, unless if someone else wants to still speak. Okay. Okay. Eric, do you still want some of the shares of the product for Easy Shop, since like once we put it on the market? Because I've actually developed the app already. So
I think we can talk about that later.
Does group team 3 or team 4 want to share anything with everyone?
Aaron, the judges will be back in a few seconds.
Okay. Thanks for letting me know. Are you guys excited for the result?
The tension is real because it was like so close. Like all of the teams did really well, and then there's that. Then
now the judges are back.
So honestly, I more care about like getting the like people to help us and like investors more than actually winning, like the actual like mentors and stuff.
And also their the feedback suggestion from the judge is really helpful, I think. All right, our judges are back. I see we are can't wait to hear the result.
Yay!
Yeah. Okay, guys. I will be the one who announce the result. So first I will start with our prize, the most innovative one. Guys, now the most innovative one we consider would be like driver jolt. Like we've seen you guys put a great amount of work in prototyping, in doing preparing, researching all the technologies and preparing the presentations, and then you guys really go into really deep in the technology parts and thinking really hard how like technically how to innovate, how to solve these problems. So you've done a really great job. So congratulations on winning the most innovative team.
Is that our only reward? Like, does that mean that it's impossible for us to get first or second place now?
So let's see. We will get the answer very soon. Yeah. So and then the next one I want to announce is like what we call like the most social impact, like the most impactful one. Most impactful one will go to the Earth bag. Like the Earth bag, it is solving a huge problems like plastic waste on the earth. It's by no doubt it's like the one of the most important issues that we need to solve. And then we would encourage you to keep working on this issue and to see we all looking forward to if we come up with like better solutions on the market. Okay, now next we go to, okay, let's do number one. Okay, number one. Number one goes to JIT. We really like the presentations, and we really like the kind of problem you're solving, the story you're sharing with us, and like how the way you structure the whole presentation, the formats, and then the enthusiasm. It's this is like I would encourage every other teams to maybe to replay their presentation, to learn from them. They've done a pretty good job. Congratulations, girls. Yeah, and then the number two teams goes to biomass. Biomass, same situation. We are solving it's a great capture, like the problem, the challenging coming up in the pandemics, and then this potentially it's also a great solutions. And you guys make a very good presentation, very concise, very convincing presentation. And so we all will encourage you to use this rewards to try to see if you can run this small business. That would be a great experience. So finally, we still have one another titles. We call it the best presentations. The best presentation also goes back to number one. JIT. So this is because like the whole course, we learn how to do presentations. So we purposely put this like as a separate titles, so that to appreciate like all the great works that you guys done, and we would also like you guys like to keep moving forward and then do the best. Okay. Yeah, that's like that's it from our side. So I think any last comments from other judges?
Congratulations to all the team.
Yeah, congratulations to all the team. Yeah.
Yeah, congratulations.
The student, well, although we had a result, but I think the students have learned a lot from the program and from coming up with the idea and actually working on the marketing and reaching out the local business. Even some of them even build a website. Those are very